I just posted a video doing my non-spoiler reviews for the Miraculous Awakening movie, but we are going to do a full spoiler in-depth breakdown of what happened in this movie. If you're ready to get into it, let's hit it. And remember, you're in the zone, the superhero zone. Cue intro. Hello and welcome to Superheroes 101 with Superheroes. Nope, that's not the thing. Hello and welcome to Superheroes 101 with the Superheroes Never Done. My name is Xavier Lee. For those of you who don't know me, I'll be your host. And let's just hit the ball, jump with the ball, get the ball rolling. I don't know what that was, but we're gonna talk about this Miraculous movie. Full spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, go watch my non-spoiler review that I just posted before this video. So yeah, I just want to start off by going through each and every different character's character arcs, because I feel like that was very important that they went through this in the movie and very important to talk about, and then I'll follow with everything else. So yeah, let's start off with Marinette. Marinette has social anxiety, and they had a whole social anxiety song for her at the beginning. And did I mention that this was a musical? The musical kind of like enhanced the emotions that were in the entire movie. Like they had love songs that enhanced love scenes. You had Marinette's social anxiety song. We had Hawk Moss, like, you know, Descent into Madness song, and everything really just went together very well. And I'm not a musical person. I don't like musicals in general. I like music, but I don't like musicals because I feel like when they break out into song for no apparent reason, I feel like it's absolutely stupid from time to time. But like, it was actually perfect. The music was put in the right places. They were not randomly put in battle scenes or anything. They were put at like the right moments. But with that being said, talking about Marinette has social anxiety because it seems like from the way they wrote the story that Marinette and her family had just moved to France from wherever they were originally. And she was going to a new school full of new people, and she was trying to hide from everyone so that nobody would judge her. But she ends up spilling coffee, the tiniest dot of coffee, on Chloe Bourgeois' Gabriel Agreste sweater, and Chloe tries to make her life a living HE double hockey sticks. And yeah, and I like the way they wrote Chloe. I'll get to her character arc probably last and later on in this video, because that's important to note also. And then also her character arc with becoming Ladybug. At first she did not want to become Ladybug. She denies that she does not want to do it. And they had this funny scene where she threw her earrings outside of the window, and then they came back in through her little hatch door that she has on the floor, like, which is like her bedroom door, since her bedroom is like in the attic area of her house. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And then she covered up every exit, and they somehow like teleported onto her ears so that Tiki could talk to her. And also, one thing I want to note that I like in general was like how the Kwamis could talk to the Miraculous holders even when they were still transformed in their costumes, because NOIR was doing that constantly while Hawkmoth was being Hawkmoth. And I felt like that was a really cool change from the original story. Anyway, back to Marinette. I really like her character arc, and then at the very end, she remembered Tiki's words in her head telling her that she is not just Ladybug is not just a costume, it is her. And because at the very end she got her Miraculous taken and she was knocked out, right? And she would de-transform back, right? And she was able to save Cat Noir from being destroyed by Hawkmoth. So yeah, I thought that was actually like a really, really cool moment. Now we're gonna move on to Adrian Agreste character arc. So Adrian, this was a Ladybug and Cat Noir movie, and Adrian and Marinette movie. Like, it was very focused on both of those characters, but Marinette like slightly a little bit more than Adrian. Like Adrian, the reason why they sidelined him a little bit was literally because he lost his mom rather recently, and he was staying quiet to the point where when we first were introduced to Adrian, he was in the library with headphones on. And I really liked that how they like made that part of his character arc, because it's like people who are going through depression or going through a loss, we constantly listen to music, and I like how they added that to his character, because I thought that was really cool and a really nice touch to the story. And yeah, Adrian was rather quiet when he first met Marinette. He thought she was weird, and I like how Nino and Adrian were friends, seemed like they've been friends since forever, and he invited him out. Adrian tried to, you know, he didn't want to go, but he finally went, you know, to support his friend Nino. And yeah, and then his arc becoming Cat Noir, like him and Ladybug, I love their dynamic in this. It's very different from the show. They were very argumentative. In the show, they are very like buddy automatically, and that's not usually how teams work. They were like very butting heads. He was calling Ladybug a watermelon.
What are you supposed to be? A watermelon?
Excuse me?
Ladybug was calling him a bunch of random names, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And I like how the whole story came together and the story arc behind him and his dad. And him and his dad has some really great like lines, because Adrian told Gabriel that basically, like when he came home late one evening from being Cat Noir, Gabriel genuinely cared for his son. He was just like, "Where were you? You weren't home." And he's like, "Well, I don't need you to care for me since you know you haven't seemed to care before." And then he's just like, "Since you lost your mother, you've been my main priority." And he's like, "Oh really? When I lost my mother, I lost you too." And I'm just like, that was the most emotional scene in that entire movie, right? And I really loved it. And then he had his one song talking about how he was in love with Ladybug, and then he had his moment where they touched hands and he felt romantically like attracted to her, and it played the funniest down like sound effect in the background. It was absolutely hilarious. I was dying. I was rolling on the floor. I found that was absolutely hilarious. And then when we got to the end with him and his father in that arc, him and his father, like his father was about to kill, like, K-I-double-L him. I can't actually say the word or I'm gonna get demonetized. Not like I'm monetized anyway. He almost got KO'd, and like his father was like slashing him with all of his powers, and we saw half of his mask rip off, which we don't usually see in the regular show. In the regular show, they're like these indestructible superheroes. If they get knocked down, it's either they transform back into their human forms or that's it. We actually saw his parts of his suit being ripped off as Hawkmoth was destroying him, and it was seeing his son's face, which is what brought Gabriel out of his slump, out of his tragedy, out of his anger, and out of his madness, right? Speaking of Gabriel Gress, let's go over to talking about his arc in the special. He was not that very like focused, and why do I keep calling it special? It is a movie. It's a movie. He was kind of focused, but not really as focused as Adrian and Marinette were. But like his arc was very powerful too. It started off with his song becoming Hawkmoth for the first time, because unlike the show, he did not become Hawkmoth and try to K-I-double-L these kids all the time. And he legit, for the first time in this movie, put on the Miraculous for the first time. He put it on. Nuru was coaching him through it, and Nuru was telling him that if you put this Miraculous on, it's going to slowly make you descend into madness. And it did. Like, he almost hurt his son, and that would have ruined him for the rest of his life. I'm glad he pulled himself out of it. But, like, that whole situation was crazy, because he got to the point where, he was akumatizing different people, and they weren't doing it for him. Like, they were not taking out Ladybug and Cat Noir for the Miraculous for him, so he just did it himself, and he got Ladybug's earrings. If he got Cat Noir's ring, like, and didn't see his son's face, bruh, he would have destroyed everybody. And he was levitating. He had butterfly. He had these giant, like, wings made of Akuma. It was crazy. And his song was pretty cool too. And in this particular version, I like, you know, the different stylization of the characters, and I like specifically how Gabriel looked, and he did not look like, what I'm trying to say is, I like this version of Gabriel. This is my favorite version of Gabriel Agreste in this entire, like, multiverse, I guess we can call it now, because it's just like, in the show, it was like, he's very evil. Like, as of season 5, he's evil. Like, he's literally trying to KO a bunch of teenagers in superhero costumes. That's what he's trying to do. In this version, like, he barely even knew that they were teenagers. He did not know who they were. He was struggling with the loss of his wife, and he let that descend him into a trek down in madness. And yeah, his arc is kind of similar to Wanda Maximoff's arc in Multiverse of Madness, lo and behold, like, believe it or not. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And I like how they wrapped up his Hawkmoth story pretty fast. Because as of the end, I don't know if this was, like, confirmed or not, but I think he was arrested. for all the chaos and damage that he caused, because he caused a bunch of damage. And instead of Ladybug going miraculous ladybugging everything, fixing it, like she had powers in her hands and like was swishing like energy around and fixing everything. And I'm just like, that kind of makes sense for the miraculous of creation. And I hope they kind of channel some of this energy in the show, because the show for me is not doing it anymore. And yeah, I really like this movie. And like the final character arc I'm really going to talk about is Chloe. Now Chloe didn't really have a big character arc, but like she was nicer to Marinette at the end, because at the very end she was just like, "Aw, Marinette, you look so great, but all bets are off next year," because I guess it was like a New Year dance type situation. And she seems like a redeemable character. She's literally just a bully and not like this evil maniacal person who is manipulating her father, manipulating everybody she knows in order to get what she wants. And that's how you can tell that Thomas Astruck versus Jeremy Zag. Jeremy Zag, I feel like, is actually going to make Chloe a redeemable character, unlike Thomas Astruck. Thomas Astruck has said on Twitter many times that he does not like Chloe Bourgeois, which is why in the show she is the most evil character ever besides Lila. And yeah, if for those of you who don't know, if I didn't already mention in the video, Thomas Astruck is in charge of the show and Jeremy Zag is in charge of this new movie universe. Hopefully we get another one. Yeah, I hope they make like Chloe Queen Bee like she did in the show, but I hope she doesn't reveal herself and go through a bunch of the trials and tribulations like she did in the show. I hope she, like, when she turns good, like she actually is good and tries to be a better person. So yeah, I really like this movie. The only thing that, like, the only gripe I have is with Ladybug's singing voice. We all know that Christina V can sing, because we all saw that Miraculous Christmas special way back when in like 2015. We know that Christina V can sing. Why didn't they use Christina V's voice? Unless it was her and I'm just out of sync. Like, that wasn't her. That was not her singing voice. It did not sound right. Especially since she can sing and she knows how to sing, and I felt like I just didn't like it. I didn't like it because when Marinette would go to sing, I'd be like, she lip singing again, because it's like, that's not Ladybug, that's not Marinette. So yeah, but here, Jeremy Zag, I give you full permission to use this, but like for the next two movies, this is how I feel like it should go. I feel like the next movie should be focusing on building a relationship between Ladybug and Cat Noir. You know, since they're now dating and now a superhero duo, I feel like they should have like a conflict in that movie, argue, split apart, then come back together. And then at the end of that movie, they tease other superheroes such as Queen Bee, Carapace, and Reina Rouge. And then the third movie, like, focus on those three characters, because they really know how to stretch out a story and make the most out of an hour and 45-minute movie. Like, they really did. They did very well with keeping the movie in the time frame, not feeling too long, not feeling too short. They did it perfectly. And I just feel like if they do that with those three characters in like the third movie and like follow like a similar construct, I feel like this would be great. Like, I really like this because it's very appropriate. It's not weird, it's not redundant, the story is not repetitive, we don't have this constant love square. I love this universe. I really do. Love Master Fu, love all the voice actors, they did their thing. Also, one more thing about Chloe, the voice actress who played Chloe was able to transform her voice to sound like a whole different girl, but like when she got angry, that Chloe voice erupted, and that's how I like the character. She's not annoying until she gets angry. So yeah, one last thing I'm gonna talk about is the post-credit scene with Gabriel. I'm assuming Gabriel was in jail when he told Natalie this, but he's like, Natalie, you're the only person I trust with the secret. Then she walks down into an elevator after pressing the Emily but the Emily photo portrait that Hawkmoth uses to go down in his lair. But like she presses it, goes down, and then sees Emily laying on a flower bed with the Peacock Miraculous around her neck. Now, if you know the show, Emily is laying down in like a layer, but like she doesn't have the Peacock Miraculous around her neck. It's like more like another pin, and she's in like a business casual suit with a pod that is stabilizing her life. I don't know if Emily is still alive in this flower bed and the Peacock Miraculous is what's keeping her alive. Like, I don't know. But like, moral of the story, I feel like if they're gonna go for the next villain of the next movie, it's definitely gonna end up being Mayra. And yeah, and I don't know why Gabriel's always counting out that his wife is dead. She's comatose. I think she's comatose. At least in the show, like, she's comatose. She's not dead. She's in a coma. So she could wake up any day now and be a threat. That's why I feel like after season 5 of Miraculous Ladybug, they're gonna make Emily the villain. She's gonna wake up and be the villain. Or in this show universe, I feel like after a while they're gonna have Emily be the villain. And what if Emily was worse than Gabriel? Who knows? Gabriel in this movie was like very much loved his son. It was driven by love and all the evil decisions she made. Like he was trying to make he made the wrong decisions, but he was trying to do it for the right reasons, and that's why you can't really fault him for it. I hope he's not in prison for long. Free my boy Gabriel. But yeah, I really like this movie. 10 out of 10. I recommend you go see it. And yeah, I just want to thank you for watching this video. Leave down in the comments below your favorite character and your favorite part. Love all the movie redesigns. I love how they added features in the characters that weren't there in the series. I think this movie universe is going to be leagues better than the show universe. But yeah, I'm going to leave you all with that one. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you can notify every time I post or go live on this very channel. Leave down in the comments below again, your favorite part of this movie, your favorite character, because I want to know, and leave your comments below because I want to have a conversation and debate with you guys. Follow my Instagram and TikTok, and also follow my new YouTube channel that I started called Xavier Lee. We talk about everything not related to superheroes, so if you're not so much into superheroes, go over there and check out my channel. It's a fun time over there. I have 4 videos posted, and yeah, if you guys want more superhero related content, you're gonna have to wait till the next video. And remember, yippee-ki-yay, let's ride!
Time to transform!